Great chatting with Gerald Meerschaert, who's got another fight coming up here against Bruno Silva, UFC Fight Night, August 13th. Gerald, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great, James. How are you?
Doing awesome. We were talking about this off air. You are in a new location. You're in Florida. It looks like a condo. I imagine you're staying there for camp.
Yeah, I'm in a little like studio type apartment deal, and yeah, I'll be down here for. Well, I was already here for 3 weeks, went home for a week, and now I'm back until the fight.
That's awesome. What made you choose Kill Cliff MMA, which I know used to be called Sanford? I know you have a couple buddies over there, but why there as far as a camp switch up?
Well, it definitely helped that like I kind of had a little in, so to speak, with like Jared Gordon and Brendan Allen training there, and they had nothing but good things to say about it. Plenty of big guys, and it was another thing too, where it's like it's a bigger gym, but it's not so big that you kind of get lost in the mix. Like there's plenty of guys my size without it being, like an American top team where, you hear like there's just too many people there almost for some guys. So, and I considered going to a couple different places, but I figured I'd come check it out. I loved it. So I'm here now.
Why the switch? Just, I guess, different variety, different partners. Like, what was one of the main reasons you decided to go there?
There's just not as many guys at Rufus Sport right now. They're kind of, in a rebuilding phase. There's a lot of young guys, young, smaller guys, up and coming talent. But, I'm just at kind of more near the end of my career than the beginning. So I just needed to go somewhere where I had enough bodies that were more my size, and I could get the different looks. So it's no bad feelings between me and anybody at Rufus Sport. We're all still on good terms. It was just something I had to do.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And I imagine, I don't know if it's too early to say, but is the plan to keep doing your camps here? I know for Brendan, for example, he's all in now, no pun intended, doing his camps there, right? So do you feel the same way, or is it just we'll see how the fight goes and reassess after that?
I mean, so far, I feel like, yeah, I want to continue to do my camps here. Like, I get along really well with everybody. I like the training environment. It's like a real professional team. So, yeah, I plan to stay here.
What did you learn the most from the Jocko fight? That was obviously your last one. What are you taking away from that, bringing into this fight?
Um, uh, Try not to overthink too much. I was like really trying to, like, I had a specific thing in my mind that I was trying to do that I didn't really think about till like the fight got closer. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to throw these couple big shots and knock them out. And another thing is making sure my conditioning is there. And, I never slack off when I train, but just like I said, having more bigger bodies to like deal with the movement and the different exchanges helps a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you can only do so much yourself. So, you got to put yourself in an environment where you're going to get the push you need. And, I've done that. So I think I got that taken care of.
A fun fight here against Bruno Silva, 22-7 record. Stylistically, how are you looking at this one?
I mean, on paper, if you look at it, like he likes to knock guys out and I like to choke guys out. So, smart money would be on me, like probably going for a submission, I'm sure. But, he's a tough guy. He's good everywhere. He's got a black belt. When he decides to grapple, he actually shows some really good stuff defensively and offensively. And he's got big power. And obviously he's got a really good chin. He went to a decision with Pereira. So, he's going to be a tough fight.
And who are you mainly getting to work with over there at Kill Cliff? I'm still getting used to saying that, by the way. Just a weird name. I get it. The fighters are getting paid, but still a weird name. Brennan, I'm sure you're working with Brendan Allen. Who else are you getting to work with over there?
I've got to work with Emilio Sordi a lot. He was the guy that was a PFL champ before. Angla Sang, I get to work with him all the time. Gregory Rodriguez. Just a lot of good, really big guys.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I'm sure the variety is nice too. You finish with one guy, you get maybe a different style matchup next time around. How much has that helped you in this camp? Because I know Rufus Sport, obviously, amazing camp, but maybe not the variety you're getting at Kill Cliff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's different looks. You always got to be kind of on your P's and Q's and like understand who you're going with and what exactly you're trying to do. So it's been nice to get like a change of pace like that. And there's a ton of guys that I've gone with too that like I just can't remember everybody's name, or I'd be here all day listing the whole team. You know what I mean? But a lot of good guys, a lot of different body types. So that's nice to kind of adjust your game too, and a lot of different stylistic looks. Like I'm still going to try and mostly do what I want to do in the fight, right? But if I can do that to different styles, that I probably got a pretty good idea of, instead of, oh, I'm only going to do this against a guy who does like A, B, and C. Like that doesn't, because you never know. Maybe he's been working on something that I'm not expecting, and I got to change it up.
How tough has it been being away from your family? Because obviously, you got a little one, you got your wife. I'm sure you're doing the calls back home, but this is a camp away from home. How difficult has that been?
Yeah, it's been it's not like the best thing in the world. And I talked to my wife about it too, but it's like it's a bittersweet thing because as a fighter, you love being in fight camp. You have a direct goal and purpose, and like everything you're doing is like you have a one track mind as far as what you're trying to achieve and like the date you have and all that stuff. But yeah, it's my first camp away from home, and it also the first camp away from my kid. So that part kind of sucks. Um, I wish I could see him or like, be closer or whatever, but it is what it is. I have to do this. There's a lot of people that have it way worse than I do that have to be gone for way longer and don't, get to have nearly as fun a job as I have. So, luckily, he's like barely over one, so he doesn't really notice that much right now. So that's a good
Right.
thing.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And on that note, we talked about camp. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight? Who's going to be in the cage with you that night?
So I'll have Jason Strout with me, which would be nice because, not only has he been at Sanford, but he's kind of an old Rufus Sport product as well. He trained with Duke for a long, long time. So he kind of understands where I'm coming from with everything. And I'll actually have Bilal Muhammad in my corner.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Having Bully B. That'll be great. How's this fight playing out? You said it there. Probably going to win by submission. When? How's this fight playing out?
Everyone wants to win right away. I'd love to win in the first round, but I don't see that happening. I've seen guys come at him really grapple heavy at first, and they'll kind of be winning, but then they kind of tire out, and he doesn't. And then as soon as he gets that chance, he'll jump on you with hands. So, I'm gonna have to stand with him at some point. So I got to be ready for that, be ready for his power, and understand that, like, even if I'm not getting the reaction I want, it's only to lead me to get in a spot where I can finish, which is probably going to be on the ground. So probably have to wear him down a little bit, look for my opening, and then, try to be very technically sound. Because like I said, he's an explosive guy and he's also a black belt. So I can't just be, oh, I'll get to the ground and I'll just figure it out. I got to be, crossing my T's, dotting my I's, and staying very positionally sound before I go in for the kill.
One of your past opponents just had a fight announced. What was your reaction to hearing that Khamzat Chimaev is fighting Nate Diaz?
Yeah, it'll be a fun. I don't. So this is the thing. There's always a chance that he could go out there and just starch Diaz. Probably very unlikely because Diaz is a really tough guy. But I do understand a lot of the reactions I've seen where they're like, I don't understand the point of this fight. And as far as rankings are concerned and like getting a title shot and all that I can agree with. But let's be honest, everybody's going to watch it. You know what I mean? There's like two really big names. And, more so than anything in MMA, especially right now, it's an entertainment business. Like, I do feel like guys that have paid their dues, especially as a fighter, deserve their shots. But, if you put butts in seats, you're going to get these type of fights. And he's been calling for crazy fights, and now he has one. And the crazy thing is, we've seen Nate Diaz go against guys who are like, oh, well, he'll probably lose, and he'll look really good, and he'll come out and like do something he's not supposed to. So I think it'll be compelling in that sense. But, I'm going to watch it. It'll be a fun fight.
Well, just playing devil's advocate here, though, don't you think the style matchup's not very good for Nate in the sense that Chimaev takes guys down, he grounds and pounds them and all that? Like, from that, because Diaz has never done well against wrestlers. I think that's the issue. If it was a case of him fighting, let's say he fought Alex Pereira. Maybe Pereira's not the greatest example, but like someone who would just stand and trade, I completely agree that Diaz could maybe pull out a submission like he did against Conor McGregor. But you've got Chimaev, who literally, like we saw the last two fights ago, even with Li Jingliang, just taking him down. Like, I could see that happening in this fight. That's where I think people are fair to have some criticism on that.
Yeah, so and that's the thing, right? He could just go out there, probably take him down and control him. The one thing Diaz does kind of have up his sleeve is he plays off his back really well, and he's also a lanky guy. So if he can get to his guard, he does have some kind of offense he can mount. But generally speaking, Khamzat does a pretty good job of off the takedowns, landing either in side control or getting to the back for a mat return, and then it kind of makes all that stuff harder. Like most, guys that come from or have that sambo style are a little more positionally sound as far as getting the takedown and then not being in someone's guard. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, I would think, just based on what we've seen before out of Khamzat, he's probably going to stand up and, throw hands with him a little bit before he decides to take him down.
Yeah, I would agree. Just your prediction for that fight. Who do you think wins?
Is it a 5 rounder?
5 round main event. Yeah.
So I can see this going one of two ways. One way is Khamzat does what he did against Gilbert Burns, and he says, screw it, throws caution to the wind, and just, stands and bangs with him the whole time. And then I think Diaz actually, he makes it at least to the 4th round, and then Khamzat gets tired of that and ends up getting a 4th or 5th round finish. Or if Khamzat just comes out and he's like, I want to get in and out of here and like make this look easy, I could see him kind of jumping on Diaz early and getting him out of there in like maybe the 1st round, just catching him off guard, pretending like, oh, we're going to box, get a takedown, takes his back, and actually ends up choking him just because, Nate's not kind of like warmed up into the fight yet.
Before we get out of here, we talked about, being at this new camp and everything. Have you seen Ian Heinisch at all? Because I know you guys fought. I don't know how that was if you've seen each other.
Yeah, he's been a few times since I've been here. Like, with no animosity from either of us. He was a perfectly nice guy. We've chatted a little bit. I haven't got to like train with him that much yet, but we already fought.
No, I know, and it's not. And I should preface this by saying, like, I know Brendan and him had a thing, and they've squashed that. But I know you guys never had like any sort of beef. It's just I know it's always interesting when you're training with a former opponent. So I was just curious about that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. My personality, you'd have to really do something like out of pocket for me to like be mad at you. And like I said, at least, and I know you weren't asking it like that, but like for me, we already fought. Like, what else? There's literally nothing else we could possibly do.
What about well, here, I'll bring up another name. If you were to, it seems like because I understand Bilal and stuff. Sean Strickland, would you ever train with him?
I mean, if he came down, yeah. I mean, and like that, he's such a character. It would be interesting to see if like he's really like that all the time. Or
I think I can tell you he is, just from talking to enough people, and even like off camera when I've done interviews with him. That's just how he is. He's just really like out there, like it's not a character. It's not like Colby,
Yeah, no, but like I mean, I got no problem training because for me that's like, I'm a professional fighter. If I think I can get good work out of you, I don't see any problem with that. Even if like we might fight eventually, it's like whatever. It's not a fight, it's training. So, I mean, as long as I train, I'll train with anybody as long as they're not trying to be an idiot and like do things purposely to like hurt me or injure me, just to like prove a point. Then I'm good. Like going hard, whatever.
Gerald, thanks for the time, man. Always appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
I've done like 100 of these. Y'all should know my social media by now and all my sponsors. So tune in August 13th. Watch my fight.